Hello, and welcome back again. We'll be talking about autism and other intellectually disabled kids and different ways of managing them. We looked at the foods that we use. They are not the best, but they give the care and the natural way of controlling and toning down the effect of the neurological problems that might be along children with different neurological conditions, autism being one of them. Today, I'm gonna feature on the behavior part of it. How do we control the learner using a behavior? And by that means, I'm going to use or to explain and give a clear relation to a simple aspect of a behavior therapy called the ABA. The ABA, in short, in full, it means applied behavior analysis. And this is a behavior therapy or behavior that requires practical approach and brings to the real life situations. Using it means that someone needs to understand what happens before a behavior, the behavior itself, and the consequences or the result after the behavior has occurred. The main goal of using ABA is to increase or to motivate or reinforce the positive behaviors that we can continue having more of them and reduce the negative behaviors. By negative, I simply mean behaviors we are not interested in, behaviors we want our children to stop exhibiting. The so-called ABA, behavior analysis, has some areas that it helps in achievement of good progress, good positive results. One of these areas is communication and language, where we motivate the kids, the children, or the adult with neurological challenges to communicate, express themselves more, and understand, interpret, and use more ways of expressing themselves. Let's remember, for one to communicate, it's not a must for it to be verbal. We have both verbal and non-verbal means of communication. ABA is also used to help in social skills, where we relate from one person to the other. It's also used to help, or has one of the goals is self-care. Take care of yourself. In schools, we call this the personal care, or the activities of daily living. We help these children by motivating them on the do good on those aspects. It's also used in play and leisure. Just as keep on repeating, it will help motivate that good behavior. Let's say, for example, sharing when you are playing, turn taking when you are playing a game. The ABA will be used to motivate a person to do more. And if this person was not used to sharing, by motivating, by encouraging, by reminding that the person needs to share, they get to understand that sharing is part of being acceptable in social ways of living. It's also used in helping learners with motor skills, motor issues, that's the fine motors and the gross motors. The main aim is to help that person know, I'm doing this, it's light. If I do this, I'm not going to be doing the right thing. But keep on motivating that person to help them increase that motor that you want them to grow in. The other one is for the academics so much, the learning and academic schools. And I believe this one has been used by even our teachers who taught our parents, teachers who taught us, and we as teachers are still using it. The area of learning and academic skills. When we clap for a child, whether typical or regular or with a condition or not, or disability or not, when we clap for a child because of answering a question, there is that urge for the child to want to do more. One, they do more to please the teacher, And they also do more to get those scraps because they have a part of where the child feels, oh, I have done good, so I'm yearning for more. This one is also very well seen during the prize giving ceremonies in schools, in different schools. In our case, dealing with special needs, the children may not be so much interested in those big gifts, but that clapping, that word of affirmation, good work, keep up, that's so good of you, I like it, that's very good. These words keep on making the children want to work more and more and more, yearning for that assurance from the teacher, the caregiver, and the parent. A little bit of history. The ABA generally uses an operant conditioning. This was a theory by a person called B.F. Skinner. Operant condition, in simple terms, without going so much to the books, it just says actions have consequences. Negative actions will result to negative consequences. Positive actions will result to positive consequences. You do good, you'll be rewarded. You do wrong, get punished. According to Skinner, there are 4 aspects in operant conditioning. These aspects includes 1. Positive reinforcement. This is where you do good, I give you good. For example, you tell a child, go sweep the class. When you finish, you have them to play with the toys. Negative reinforcement, that is removal of punishment. That's quite critical for someone to understand because it calls for whatever you are doing, you have stopped. Therefore, I'm going to remove this punishment that I was giving you because you are changing towards the good. The other one is negative punishment, that is removal of a reward. You have done something wrong, I'm going to get that reward from you. If I still use the word of the toy, the example of toy, you do a mistake, I take the toy from you and I keep it away. So I have removed the reward. You do wrong, I'm not going to clap for you. That was not what I wanted. The other one is positive punishment. That is adding a punishment. You have done something wrong, but instead of you acknowledging your mistakes, instead of you trying to do something positive, now this person gets more punishment on the punishment they were given initially. Now, for ABA to be effective, the people involved, most likely the upon the receiving end, need to understand the ABC, that is the antecedent. This is what happens before the behavior. Then they need to understand the behavior itself. And finally, they need to understand the consequences. If I do this, what is going to be the consequence of me doing this? It might be something good, I'm getting a reward. Maybe something bad, I'm getting punished. They need to understand all those 3 things. What happens before behavior? The behavior itself, maybe the behavior you want to improve, or the behavior you're trying to discourage. And lastly, they need to understand the consequence or the result from that person. Now, at the times, people tend to believe that ABA might not be very effective. And therefore, there are some ways we can provide some, in quotes, alternatives. Mark me, it's in quotes. 1, we have the argumentative and alternative communication. It's a strategy used to help children who have communication issues as well as they be combined with speech therapy services. The other one is incorporating the occupational therapies. This one help children who experience distress and meltdowns due to sensory sensitivity. The third one is using physiotherapy. That is for children struggling with motor coordination. Above all, let's remember, using applied behavior analysis is one way of controlling, of managing children with these conditions. It's not the most perfect way, but it's a good way to help manage. Get the kid, get the adult, get the student to understand the behavior that you as a parent, you as a teacher, you as a caregiver is not interested in. Let them understand it, and then talk them. Let them know, I don't know this behavior. Therefore, if it happens, this is the consequence. If it's a behavior you want to improve, let them know. You want them to do, let's say, you want them to be making their bed in the morning. Let them understand. I wake up in the morning. What should I do? I make my bed. When I make my bed, what do I get as the consequence of the behavior? And if you do that, now it becomes a smooth way of managing the children. But the most important, let them understand the behavior you want to control. And I believe this has been an insightful episode. Please share, subscribe, and let your friends know. The main goal here is to create awareness. Let us be able to treat the children the way they should be. No child is less, regardless if they have a condition or disability or not. Bye.